How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the KSS YouTube channel. On today's episode, we're going to be getting a bunch of things started for the season. So just a small detail starting off. I started off this morning siliconing up my rocker that I did last year. So I filled up the gas with some silicone. I'm going to paint over it. So that's drying right now. Alexi's in the back. I'll go there in a sec to show you guys what he's up to. And I also decided to mess around with the old Dodge truck that we have. One day that'll be on the channel and we'll get into more details on what I want to do with that thing. But yeah, so the 7th gen, just the silicone for now. I'll explain details of what I want to do for the season, to start off the season. Motor wise, we'll get into that later. But yeah, I'm going to go to Alexi, and after Alexi, I show you guys that little shot. We're heading over to Aiden's. We're going to start doing brake lines on his Del Sol. He wants to relocate his proportioning valve and have it like pretty much rotated 90 degrees and then do the lines differently. So we're going to do that. We're going to start on that today. So brake lines, it's not the shortest job, but it's not a big job because we're only doing like 4 lines. But yeah, so I'm going to go to Alexi's, and then after that we're heading over to Aiden. Okay, so we are at Alexi's situation here. If you guys remember him from the, he's got his white Integra. He's come to us, he's been in a couple videos, but yeah, so he's got a couple B16 blocks that he got this week. These are some B16 A2s, just the blocks, and he got a GSR head fully decked this week. Well, like it was an already decked head that's going to be thrown onto this B16. Just a VTEC B series for his Integra. So yeah, he's working on some B series stuff, getting an engine stand going. Gonna wash it up, get all the grease and some rust and corrosion off, make it look nice. And then yeah, so he's gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get the truck going over there, and then we're going to head over to Aiden's. So that's in the next steps. Okay, so just the Dodge. It's an old project. It's my dad's old truck. I gave up on it. Well, not gave up, but it's just, we've been chasing this issue with this damn carbureted engine for a long time. But yeah, so the only thing I haven't tried is the distributor. I couldn't find another distributor. Alexi brought one, but the whole shaft was broken and wiggling. So what I did was I took the pickup coil, which is what we suspect to be the only problem left to try. So I took the pickup coil out of that bad shafted distributor, and I put it in here, put the gap right according to a forum. And yeah, so I just put some gas down the carb. I'm gonna try and start it up. It should start right up, like fire right up. If it's well timed, I might have to rotate the distributor. But yeah, man, we're getting so much things running today. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna crank it over right now, and I just see there's a ratchet right there, which I'm gonna take out before it gets hit by.
That's smart, man. Decision.
Crank her down. Is seeing if it'll last over 20 minutes, because 20 minutes it gets hot, either it stalls on me or I turn it off for ice cream or gas or food or whatever. I get back in and it doesn't want to start, and I have to wait an hour and a half to 2 hours before I start it up. That's why I gave up on this car, man, or this truck. But yeah, if it runs, I think the test is to bring it to Aiden's. See if we make it to Aiden.
Of course.
All right, okay, well, I'll keep you guys posted, and then we're heading over to Aiden. All right, so Aiden's Del Sol. What we're doing to it is the proportioning valve repositioning job. So as you can see, it is right here. Alexi's just starting to cut the lines, because Aiden was like, let's unbolt the lines. I was like, no, let's just cut them, take the proportioning valve out, and then take them with a socket. It's more grip with a socket. It's all 6 not corners, but 6 sides of the nut that are going to have grip. You have less chance of stripping stuff. So we're going to do that, take it all out, and then all the lines, the front lines and the lines from the master cylinder are going to be not deleted, but redone and taken out. And then the rear lines, these 2 here, we're going to cut them in this area, and the proportioning valve is going to be in this area as well. So they're going to be mounted directly there, so they're not going to have this extra almost foot of line. And then yeah, everything's going to run lower or in different spots, so it doesn't get heated up by his downpipe or uppipe, depending on which exhaust setup he's going to put on the car, put exit or full exhaust. So yeah, that's the job for today, is brake lines on Aiden's Del Sol.
So we got most of the lines off, or actually all the front brake lines. We just have the two that go to the rear, and we're just trying to figure out where we want to put this thing. I want it to be tucked out of the way to get out of the way of the downpipe and all that, and like taking out my hood exit and all that is just, it's in the way. So what we're thinking, I might reuse this bracket and or make my own bracket. I think I'm gonna make my own. It's gonna sit somewhere in this general area. Now there is a threaded portion on the firewall already, so I mean, like, that's an option. I could put it into there and do that. It's kind of in the way of this a little bit, so what I might do is kind of mount it down here and then make my own bracket so that it goes off of this, so it'll be kind of out of the way. I could also go off of the bolt for the steering rack there, still kind of in the way of this bolt, so I feel like over here is a good option, and then I'll just make my own bracket. So the two spots here are the ones that go to the rear, so that'll be these two lines here. So we just have to reflare the stock lines that go to the rear, and then it'll sit right there. I'll just cut it a bit, reflare it, make a bracket, and then we'll be able to make the rest of the lines. Just got the rear lines done. We cut the line and then flared it, put some fittings on it, so it's like approximately in its location. We just got to make a bracket for it, but now we're going to start making the lines that go to the master and to the front brakes. They're just cutting up some line right there and just measuring it out, and let's get to it.
So we got to positioning the proportioning valve where we wanted it, which ended up being right here in this area. So it's pretty stiff because it's holding on a bunch of metal brake lines, but we'll end up making some bracket maybe that goes to this stud here or this one here. But yeah, so this is approximately where it's going to sit, and all the lines are out of the way from the exhaust. Maybe we could even get a before and after picture of some sort. They were all here, now they're all down here. So we got the front left, front right, which runs all the way back there, and then the two from the master cylinder. So yeah, that's all the brake lines that we did. That's pretty much it for the Del Sol in this episode. That's part of Aiden's stuff getting running, or well, not running, but close to running. He's got his motor here, which he's building. What are you doing? You're just pretty much doing the same motor, just not gonna go 30 pounds or 28 again. So yeah, he's just gonna put a stock K28-2 back together just to get this thing rolling for the season. So we're gonna head over to my place and talk about my engine situation for the 7th gen and what I'm gonna be doing to that, because that car runs, and but I want to have it quicker for Honda Fest. So yeah, we're gonna go explain that at my place. Okay, we're back from Aiden's house. We are going to explain the block situation for my car, well, the 7th gen. So we've already started on this one, kind of, sort of. We cleaned it with aluminum cleaner, which is right there. Some boat stuff that Alexi found. Cleaned up real nice. The head is not too damaged, so it's going to be fine. We honed the cylinders. This side even looks better. It's cleaner. We put the crank back in. It's got some thick assembly loop, so it's hard to turn. But yeah, so we got a crank. This is a full K20Z3 block out of a CS. No, this is an SI, which is the same thing as a CSX, but or Type S CSX. So yeah, K20Z3 block, honed, refreshed. The bearings were nice. They're back in there. We're gonna be doing rods. I'm thinking Skunk 2. I think they're called Alpha Series. They're rated for 800-900 horsepower. Is that what I'm shooting for yet? No, but the amount of boost that I'm going to be putting into the 7th gen is going to need some rods, so we're going to be putting those in there. Stock pistons should do the job. We just want to do another 5 pounds. We want to get into the like 30-ish pounds of boost. So yeah, we've proven that we cannot do 30 pounds with stock rods, so rods are going in this block. Yeah, the pistons are there. The rods are not bought yet, but those are going in next in the block. That's probably going to be my next purchase for this motor. And then the heads. So for the heads, we're going to be doing an RBC head. We're going to be taking it apart, taking the valves out, and putting it in a PRB head, which is an Acura RSX Type S head, because they flow better, but they're the same valves as the Z3. And the coolant packages, this is the same side. No, it's not. So, whoa, you don't have any of this on the Type S head. As you can see, the coolant is run differently. So just so I can have my coolant hoses the same in the 7th gen and not have to redo the hoses, I'm going to just put all the valves which are the same, into the PRB Type S head, and then making one full Z3, but technically a Type S motor, just with rods. So yeah, that's the head situation. Swap valves, and then put it on this here. The head gasket's on order, it's on its way. Like I said, the rods. But yeah, so that's the situation for this motor for the 7th gen. Well, that's it for this episode. We got the truck running. We got details on engines for me and Aiden. More for me because I'm kind of getting rods. He's doing just another stock motor. We did his brake lines on his for his Del Sol. But yeah, the season is starting up, and this is the second time we filmed this outro because we were stuck in wind the last one. And yeah, so that's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next one.